If you want videography, you can just do this and it becomes a video mode. There, what they have done is they say it's an experience. Okay, staying inside their premises, I criticize them. Who would think a mode will be here? What is this button? The trash button here. It's this. Delete. Even a kid, if you ask, they know it's this is the trash button here. It's delete button. You have to double tap on that to change the mode. You got what I mean?
Oh.
In Fuji, if you want to change from videography to photography, you have to go into delete button and then change it to a different mode.
People would afraid or something will be deleted if they see this.
Yeah, so nobody thinks that. So you got to press the delete button to go. But they call it an experience. It took 3 days for me.
Kamali ka ng delete na siya.
Videography and photography.
Kailangan dalawa. Double tap.
Okay, so ideally all the brands are good. All the brands are good.
Sir, may we go back to the color profile you are telling about for the Fujifilm? How about for the Sony? It's good for color profile.
Yeah. But compared to all these things, in terms of colors, what I rate is Fuji color science is good. Nikon is good. Okay, Canon I used to hate the most, but now they are very good. Sony is different level, and Sony what is Sony? Sony is like if you try to see Sony photographs in the screen, you will definitely hate because they don't give the actual color in their screen. You got yes. That's one drawback I have seen in Sony, but I haven't seen the latest series. It shows one colors. It's more vivid. Yeah, vivid. The colors are too like more contrasty and everything. When you try to go and see it in the computer, it's a different color set.
Oh, when you are going to export into the
Computer. Yes.
it will different.
It will give a different thing. In the screen, what you see here, it looks little off. But when you go, if you want actual colors, then you got to see it in the computer.
Oh.
So all the brands are good. Like that's what I'm saying. I will never say. If you see Nikon is my best partner because I'm part of them. Best partner. Still, what I would say is Fuji is the best.
What is your recommend for event using the camera? For event, married and birthdays like that.
Events, I would say go for. It's a hard question. It's a hard question. It's a personal preference, you know.
Yeah.
It's a hard question.
Because I have experience, no, my daughter graduate that this 2024. I go to studio too much far after I pay too much money after I see the only giving me 5 copies of picture. That's why I need to study this one to how to
Yeah, we learn
learn.
So Canon, Nikon, it's hard. Seriously hard. Even sometimes I get confused. If I had the luxury to use my lens, like if you buy a lens, you can use it only with that particular brand. You can't use it with all the other brands. If I had the luxury, I will change my camera time to time to see which is the best. You know what I mean? Because the competition is very high. They come up with one technology and these guys will copy, and then they try to they'll try to upgrade it with a different.
Just like the phones that
Phones, yeah, exactly. So it's
Yeah.
a detailed subject to talk, but again, if you deep dive into do a proper research, easily you will be able to figure out what is the best camera that works for you. Yeah, just let me know when you buy. Like I could help you with getting discounts and stuff. Here you get a 5% discount. For sure, you get 5%.
Use for event this camera.
Huh?
This camera.
Any Nikon, you buy anything, you get 5% discount
Okay.
as a student. With accessories, bags, and everything. Here it depends on the model that you are choosing. Here also depends on approval. Sony used to give, but not now. Sony now they have a different thing. They don't actually need to do that. They are at the top of the game. Okay. So the one disadvantage buying Canon is when you buy Canon, you need to have their own lenses.
Oh.
You can't buy third-party lens. There's something called native lens and third-party lens. Whatever the companies they manufacture their own line of lenses, it's called native lens. And there are companies called Sigma, Tamron. These brands, they're also from Japan. They're very good. They're equally like they give tough time to these brands as well. But they don't allow to use those lenses here in Canon. Sony allows. Nikon and Fuji allows.
There's any code for lenses for example, you need to convert this lens into Sony. There's any mount.
The converters are there.
Where-
Vtox or some mounts are there. But again, it's not highly recommended using. Sometimes you might not get the best output that you want from them. Yeah. So that's about the camera. I think you can do your homework, do some bit of research, and then come to me. Then I can help you. So when you do choose 2-3 brands or 2-3 different types of cameras, and let me know. Then I will say which is better for your type of. Now let's. When you buy cameras, you don't become a photographer. So if you happen to do that, I will also tag you in these photos.
So,
That's the biggest problem nowadays. All the monkeys with cameras, they think they are photographers. Sorry. Don't become that. Just learn the art and do it. Okay, let's dive into more detail. When you buy a camera, definitely you need to know your camera very well. Because what I see is in the class also, most of the time people come with cameras. Yes, definitely they are here to learn. But what happens is when you don't know your camera very well, it wastes others' time as well. The basic things I can show you, how to change settings, how to operate the setups and stuff, I can do it. But overall, you should know how to play around. When you buy a mobile, you learn, right? You learn how to operate it, how to use it. So likewise, when you buy a camera, you can't expect that to be fully the camera to be taught here. So that takes time of others. Like 4 of you here, at least 2-hour class, I can spend a decent amount of time, at least 20 minutes of each of you. So to get the maximum, to make yourself understand and learn very well, let's not waste the time in trying to figure out the buttons where and stuff. Do a little bit of research so it will be easy. Like example, I always say, I draw a small sedan car and then I upgrade it to a 4-wheel drive. And in my car, if I want to open the petrol tank in my sedan car, it's just a matter of just pulling a cable there and it opens the petrol. First day when I bought the car, the 4-wheel drive, I brought to the petrol station. You know that when you buy a 4-wheel, you get some energy, right? Extra energy, bossy energy. I was waiting in the line and I got my turn. It took 2-3 minutes. I was figuring out how to open the petrol. And the guy in the station was shouting. It was a busy hour. It was just a matter of clicking one button in the door to open this thing. Now what I'm trying to say is, having the best equipment is not going to make you a photographer unless you know how to operate it. So please do spend about 20-30 minutes, maximum 20 minutes or 30 minutes. All the cameras got YouTube videos which explains each and every button to detail what features it has. So learn those things. But primarily, few things that you need to know as overall. Here the main button that we take to take photographs is known as when you hand like this. Go faster. Okay. Now if you see this photograph, the hand is blurred.
yeah.
It's called the motion blur. That is what happening when your shutter speed, when your subject is faster than your shutter speed, you end up getting motion blurry images. Okay, if you want to capture something that's happening faster, now I'm at 1/160th of a second. Now I'm increasing it to 1/500th of a second.
500. Para makuha mo siya.
Okay, do it.
Mas tataasan mo. Yung kuha na siya.
Now I'm able to capture the hand Clear.
Clear, yes.
But it's not yet clear.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
you see.
somewhat you can see the hand,
Yeah.
fingers here. Okay, so I have to go beyond this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go about 1/800th of a second. Again,
Basta. Malamang clear na siya.
fast, fast, fast.
Ganun bro, no? Pagka
Now you
mabilis
see?
yung kumuha, taasan mo yung setup.
Now that, yeah, now if you try
Para
to do
makuha
it,
natin yung
Yes.
galaw. Yun, kuha na.
yeah,
Yeah.
now if you try to do it, it's more clear.
Yes.
So now,
The shutter speed depends on the object motion.
yes,
How it moves.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's where this part comes. Still, I haven't finished it off, but you guys understood. The longer the exposure, okay, the longer the time you let in, you get more light. That means if you open it more and let in more time, that means more light is gonna come. Okay, keep this one captures. Keep in mind, motion blur can occur in long exposure. Long exposure means when you try to leave it for a long time, motion blur also can happen. Now, what happens when we are doing it faster? There was motion blur. The subject was not clear. What you see here, it's not Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's the light, the vehicles, light trails. That's the motion. When you try to shoot it in low speed, you will get this kind of effect. The next class, you will be able to do this. For sure, night class. Okay. So that's what happens here in this component. So if you try, if I go to next thing, you'll have a proper understanding now. We already did a practical. So here, if you see this car is moving at 1/750th a second, the photograph is clearly captured. When you try to bring it down to 1/250th of a second, the image looks okay, but it's not very decent.
Still
Blurry. Yeah, as we keep going low and low and low, you're not able to see anything. It's getting completely wiped out. Okay, so if you try to put this at 1 second, 2 seconds, and if you try to move around here and there, even you won't be there. If you want to capture something that at 1 second or 2 seconds, you got to be steady, like very steady, very strong. Like so, this is very important. Remember, shutter speed is the length of time your camera spends capturing the motion or the light. Okay, is it clear? So all these photographs that you see is captured like this. None of them are Photoshop. These are easily achievable. For example, if you want to see this, we practice this. We'll show you.
It's like double exposure.
Yeah, double exposure, exactly.
Ayan ginagamit sa PBA.
See, these
sa
photographs
PBA,
that
sa basketball.
these are captured by students. So these are this particular thing. It was captured at 1 second shutter.
1 second shot.
Yeah, 1 second. So we tried different things. You see, there's motions. They're very straightforward, very easy. Nothing is hard. It's very straightforward, very easy concept. Easily you can capture. You may see this kind of photograph. People call it Photoshop. The first one. Long exposure photograph. Yeah. When you try to capture the water flow coming from this river, streams and stuff, if your shutter is longer, then it will look like a milk flow coming in here. And light trails, that's how we capture. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, depending on the lighting condition. If you want to capture this man, that's because of him. I guess they're increasing the shutter speed. He was not sharp enough because he runs 100 meters in 9.2 or 3 seconds. Yeah. So the cameras was not faster.
Maybe 8,000.
I don't know which. I think in the last Olympic when he ran, they were not able to capture him for the same sharp. There was an issue. Anyway, so that is what shutter speed. Okay, for different types of photography, we use different types. Let's make a quick guess. Now you know for sports photography we use 2.8, right? One reason is we need blurry background or what do you call it? Shallow depth of field. There is one more reason why we use 2.8 in sports photography is one is for depth, okay, depth, and the other is when you try to shoot stadiums, even though there is enough lights. I've shot in Khalifa, all these big stadiums, they have big lights, but it's night time most of the time matches happen. The other reason why we use is it's low light. Okay, so in low light, when your aperture is open, that means you will let in more light coming in. It gives more. So some people they don't have these 2.8 lenses. These are very expensive as well. So when you have low, low aperture, that means you can get in more light. Whereas, okay, I'll write light here. I don't want to give you the answer. Now I want you to guess 1 over 100th of a second, 1 over 500th of a second, and 1 over 1200th of a second. What kind of a setting have you captured that Messi's photo?
1200.
1200.
Yes, 1200.
To capture this photo, just to capture this photo, what kind of a setting that I would have used? For fact, you know that background 2.8 I use.
Yeah.
Shutter speed I'm asking here.
Shutter speed.
What is that one? 500?
1 over 500, 1 over 100, 1 over 1200.
I think it's 1200.
1200.
Yeah.
Common
1000.
answer?
Same.
Same, yeah?
1200.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one. So to capture them, we normally use that kind of a speed. Sometimes it will go up to 1600 as well. So that means there's no way the light can enter the camera sensor, because you think about it. If I open only, I can let in light to come to the sensor. Here, it is not even opening. Before it opens, we are closing it. You got what I mean?
Yes.
I confused. You got? See here, this is the sensor, right? So if let's say it's covered now. If I want to send in light, I need to open it. Then only light will enter the sensor, right?
Yes.
If I try to open it and close it faster, can light enter the sensor? No, right? So what is happening here is at 1 over 1200th of a second, there's no way the light can enter the sensor, because the sensor the shutter is opening and closing fast. You see?
Yes.
Very fast.
It's fast. There's no way the light can enter. Okay? Even you keep 2.8, okay? Even you keep in 2.8, still there's no light will be there. Example I'm showing you here. 1 over 650, okay, sorry. 1 over I'm keeping the shutter speed at 1 over 1200 of a second, okay? My aperture is 2.8, okay? Now I'm taking a photograph. This is how it's gonna look. Okay, if the studio light, okay, I'll put the lights, okay? Still it looks like this.
Because
Very fast.
subject isn't moving.
Yeah, not moving,
Yeah,
but
it's not
I'm
in
just
the
trying to
slide.
show you the
The
example.
light is not allowed to come inside.
Come
Yes.
inside. It's so fast
Yeah.
because the opening and the closing is.
So even you reduce, I think, right?
Yeah, so I told 3 settings, we just done with 2 settings. Now I'm going to the 3rd setting. Now,
ISO.
yes, now I'm getting the answer, you see. So the last thing is ISO. ISO is very straightforward. Okay, one thing will be where most of the time beginners get confused is shutter speed and aperture, where people mostly go confused. ISO, one thing that can happen, if your ISO is high, there's going to be noise in your photograph. What is noise? There's going to be lots of spots around your photograph. Example, if I may ask you a question, out of these 3 photographs, just look at this photograph and tell me which one looks better to you. Is 100 looking better or the other photo is looking better? 100. Which one is looking better? 100 or except this photograph, out of these 7 photographs, which one looks better to you? 100, 100, 100, yeah? Observe well. 100 is the correct answer. Okay? Why 100 is the correct answer is, it's more clean, right? Here you get to see a lot of spots. So what happens is, when you try to increase your ISO, you start creating digital noise. So what is ISO? ISO allows you to digitally brighten. This is artificial light. Allows you to digitally brighten and darken a photograph. This works the same way as film speed or shutter speed works. The higher the number, brighter your photo will be. As you increase, okay, ISO, you will create more digital noise. Your image will start getting here. So what happens is, in sports photography, we use 2.8 to get in. I'm just taking a scenario of sports photography, so that will be more easy to understand this concept. 2.8, so it gives us the depth of field. Here we use 1/1250 to capture the motion, and then when you use those two settings, there's no way the light will come to your camera. The only component that can help you to recover light is ISO. If you have a flashlight, you can use it. But if you use that in sports photography, immediately will be kicked out, because it distracts the player. Imagine you are using it. So now what is happening? I'm at 1/2000 of 1/1250th of a second at 2.8, and my ISO was 100. Okay, I'm taking one more photograph, and this is the result. Okay, it's done. Now I'm started increasing the ISO to 1/1000. Sorry, 1000. Now this we start getting little more detail coming in, but still we need more. So I'm gonna go to about 2500. Now you are able to see the subject clearly. That's why we call it ISO. Allows you to digitally brighten and darken a photograph. This is kind of a layer that is forming inside the camera to add additional digital light. This will not confuse you at all, because why? The lower the number, you get a clean image. You all agreed that this picture looks good. Yeah. One thing is it's clean. The other thing is the communication is very clear in this photograph, because when do you light a candle? When it's dark, right? So that dark, the essence of darkness is there, and the flame and everything is very clean. Here, when you come here, even though the darkness is there, the light is too bright, and on top of that you are getting noise. So it doesn't look pleasant to the eyes. The communication is also not clear. You got the point? So what happens is, when you try to use low number, you get clean images. When you try to increase, you get good images, but sometimes it will be noisy. Okay, nothing to be worried about. When it comes to settings, over a setting, the movement is important. You got here example, we use 1/1000, all these settings here. We want a detailed image. What we do is we use about 2000 ISO to capture this kind of photographs in sports photography, because you see, now you saw the thing what happened, right? At this setting it was very dark. The only way we recover the light in sports photography through
Increasing the ISO.
ISO.
But it will become grainy.
Yes, very. But these kind of cameras, advanced cameras, can handle decent ISO. Like even if you go to 5000, it will work. It will be less, and nothing to be worried. Now everything is AI. With AI, you can easily remove all these kind of spots and everything. So what you need to remember is, if you want a clean image, use low ISO when it's possible. The least thing that will be touching is the ISO. That's the last thing. Okay? If you want a movement, don't think about ISO, don't think about anything. Go capture the movement by, like example, let's say you have a favorite celebrity of yours. Messi is sitting here. If this place is dark, you want to capture. This guy told use 100, it will be clean. We'll never give a sorry, about me, you will try to increase it automatically, trying to capture that movement, because the movement is important over a setting. You got the point? So, like example, when we do events, VIPs don't like flashes on their flash. Some VIPs, so strictly there will be protocol, no flashes on the face. So we have to increase the ISO because that movement is important for us. So we do that. So remember, this is a very straightforward concept. It will not confuse you. So when you try to use low, you get clean, neat image. So again, just a quick recap. Aperture is the opening in the lens. It decides how much light needs to be sent into the camera sensor. The second is shutter speed. Is the length of time your camera spends capturing the light or the motion. And ISO allows you to digitally brighten and darken the photograph. Combine of these three, what we call it the exposure triangle. Okay. So one thing you need to know, there is what do you call in exposure triangle. Once you achieve a setting, like example, if I try to capture you from here, if I try to capture one setting, I can't apply the same setting to that person over there because the amount of light you are getting is less here. For him, the light is good enough there. So if I try to use the same setting, he will be more brighter. So what I have to do is, I have to change settings. When I change one setting, I have to equally change another setting. For example, I'm shooting at 1/100th of a second, ISO f2.8, and let's say I'm shooting at 500 ISO. With the same setting, if I try to move to him, he will look more brighter because the light is closer to him. So I'll have to bring down the ISO. When I do the ISO, maybe I'll have to increase my shutter speed also to balance the light. So you see what is happening here? This part is brighter, this part is darker. So it is a travel. That's what we call it, the exposure triangle. This is a lot of things going here. I don't want to read it out. So when you do practical sessions, you will understand how to control this thing. All you need to remember, the exposure triangle which combines the aperture, shutter speed and ISO. Okay. Last part, last slide. During the class, I may use this kind of words saying your photo is overexposed or underexposed. What does it mean is, if it is overexposed, your photograph is too bright. If it is underexposed, that means the photograph is dark, correctly exposed. Okay. If you can't achieve this, don't aim for this. You can go underexpose the image, because if you try to do this, you try to brighten the image to like more brighter. When you try to edit a photograph, what happens is your colors will start burning. In photography, colors is a key component which shapes the feel of the photograph. What stops you when you try to see a photograph? The colors, right? Colors. So if your colors are burned and if you're not showing the actual colors, your photos may not give the right feel. So if you can't achieve this, don't go for this. Try to make it slightly dark. Whereas in the editing, we have enough room to play around the light and increase the light that we want, because there's more steps that we can do in editing. So that's all. Hope I've given you this thing, but I know this. I am a person who don't like theory. Photography can't be learned in theory, but just it's a formality of first session. So we'll have more practical sessions, and then during the session we will practice all these things. And then with that note, we come to an end. Thank you. Change the way you see the world, as I always say.
Pico, photography dito kami, Pilipino. Dalawa kami photography dito sa Alpardan na yan. No? Buti may classmate ako Pilipino, Gilbert. Bro, salamat sa Diyos. Yes, ingat, ingat.